single resource. So that red bars represents my required capacity. Now my resource manager says, okay, so that is good, but can you show me the daily scale? Right? So I say, fine, I will show you the daily scale for his easy comprehension. So now I give a little bit more space to the resource chart, and I switch my scale to display in daily format. So guys, do you see this red bar here? Okay, now I explained to him that this is the peak demand of the programmer. So I need these many programmers. So guys, can you make an intelligent guess? What is my peak demand of the programmer? How many man hours per day? Can you guess where this arrow is touching on the scale on the left side? How many man hours? Where do you think? Make your intelligent guess. See, resource requirement is always determined in the multiple of 8. It is a table of 8. So where do you think it is touching here? Guess. What is my
78.
72 on a table of 8? 8 nines are 72. Then you get 8 tens are 80. It cannot be anything other than multiple of 8, right? So you tell him that I need a capacity of the 8 9 the 72 man hours of the programmer. So he says, how many programmers you need? You tell me numbers. I tell him I need 9 programmers per day. Right? Okay. So guys, do you see this another scale on the right side? So the right side scale is about the total cumulative demand. So it is keeping a total of the demand, right? This is the total demand. I mean, you can say cumulative, cumulative. So total, uh, cumulative total demand. I'm getting my spellings wrong, right? Okay, fine. So guys, do you see this green line which is, rising up slowly and slowly? Do you see this, guys? See, it is rising from here and it is rising, 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 and it goes here, right? Do you see that? So that is the cumulative demand, right? And this is the current capacity. So guys, what is the current capacity of the resource? The current capacity of the resource by default is 8 because that's a single copy. So what I need is 9 copies, right? 9 copies. He says then, oh, show me the numbers. Yes, I tell him, yes, I'm using a Primavera. I'll show you the numbers. So here are the numbers. I switch to the resource timesheet. That is the resource usage, right? Okay. So once I switch there, you will be seeing the numbers exactly on the same place. But the thing is that the numbers are a little bit squeezed. So what I do, I go to the time scale here. So gently I start unsqueezing the time scale, until I see the numbers clearly. Now I have to do sometimes, it goes off the screen. So I go to the first layer and drag it back a little bit toward the left. Then I start the unsqueezing a little bit more slowly and slowly till I'm seeing all the digits clearly. So once I see the digits clearly, I stop here, right? So that I'm making the judicious use of the screen. So guys, do you see this? 72 man hours, right? Do you see this? This activity is 1230. It is using 8 programmers per day. Then there is another activity. It is overlapping with another activity, which is basically 1240. And it is creating a peak demand of 72 man hours per day, right? Do you see that? One activity is using 8 resource. Another activity comes in parallel for 6 days and 64 plus 8. Guys, how much is that? 72 man hours, right? So basically what I am going to tell that, look, sir, I need 9 programmers per day. Then I show him the activity name also. So you can see that 1230 is what? 1230 is coding. Guys, do you see that? Activity 1230 is coding, right? Do you see that? Okay. Now, guys, I'll show you the accuracy and the beauty of the Primavera. Let me do this thing. Let me draw this outline here. And I'm going to switch over to the graph mode. See, guys, I click on the resource graph and the graph will be here. Do you see that? You see that graph here? So let me draw the line here, much more nearer to the graph boundaries. And now I'll switch over to the timesheet. So you will see the numbers are inside this boundary only, right? So I just tell him that I have a peak demand for 9 programmers. Now, this is what the resource manager tells me. He says that, look, we have a company policy to provide 10 programmers to every project that happens, right? So that is our default company policy. Why? Because the programmer is a low level resource. So what he says that you upgrade the capacity of programmers to 10 programmers. I approve you 10 programmers, right? So guys, you tell me if one is 8, how many will be 10? 10 programmers will generate how many man hours?
80.
80. It's like, if one battery gives you 8 volts, and if you put 10 batteries of 8 volt in series, so how much voltage you can expect to get? 80 volts, right? It is just like that. So one person, you visualize that one person has, you can see people with 8 written on their foreheads, right? Can you visualize the person with 8 stamped on his forehead, and you are making 10 of them stand in front of you? Just close your eyes and you will say 8 tens are 80, right guys? So basically, 10 programmers will generate 80 man hours for you. It is an approved capacity, right? So guys, let me again tell you, the capacity of the project, I mean capacity of the resource, does not mean increase in cost. The cost of the project is determined only on basis of actual resource utilization. Is this thing clear, guys? Okay, now what he says is that you upgrade your capacity of the programmers to 10. Okay, Faith, now you get into action. So you click on the resource tab. Okay, good. Now, so you will select programmer. Now you will click on the detail button here so that you can get back to the details of this. Now in the detail, you will see that there is a tab here which says units and prices. Units, right? So there is a column here which says maximum units. So it tells you that the current maximum capacity is 1. So you change it to 80, that will represent the capacity of 10 programmers. So you can put a 0 or you can just type the whole thing with 80. So both ways it's work. Now, so you got the permission for 80, right? So your maximum units, it has been upgraded. So this column is missing here, guys. So let me include this column here. So this column should be visible at a glance, right? I go to the customize. Where is the window? So Faith, is it gone to the? Okay, fine. You just drop it. So drop the idea. So I think it's gone to the other. Now, Faith, you do this thing. You come to the notes here. Okay, fine. You dragged it here. Fine, good. So thanks. Oh, max units here. I was not able to recognize that, man. You know why? Because I did not unsqueeze the column head. You see that column level is maximum, so it is upgraded. Now you need to write a note here. How you got this? You write here. Okay. You get the notes window here. You click on the modify and you get the notes. Now you write here 10 programmers per day. 10 programmers per day. Per day approved by RM. RM stands for resource manager, right? RM on. So you had a meeting with him today. So you will basically mention today's date, right? You will document this fact that you had a meeting with the resource manager on 21st of the September and he had approved it. So normally, you are going to get an email. Okay. So Faith, you have stopped here. So you have stopped writing. Why is that? See, no, that is not complete. Faith, just a moment. Just a moment. Let me write it. Let me write it. Okay. So basically, you will copy paste the approval email. So now, once you have enhanced the capacity to 10, right? So basically, 10 means 80 man hours. Now let's look at the activities window once again. So guys, you will see the resource capacity has been upgraded to 80 man hours per day. So all the utilization of the resource which is below the capacity is now green. So green means that you are utilizing the resource under the capacity or up to the capacity. That's okay. Now you may use this approved capacity up to the maximum, and you can use it below the maximum. That's okay. You basically, if you look at on these dates of the week of this March, you are using only one out of the approved capacity of 10. And if you look at these days, so guys, you are using the resource on a part-time basis, right? Do you see this here? You see that there is a partial graph here. So you are using, it seems like 2 hours per day to me, right? Okay. So Faith, you click on the timesheet here, you will be able to see the capacity utilization of that exactly within the same rectangle. So you can see that it clearly shows you it is 2 hours per day, right? See, okay, 2 hours the per day. Okay. 2 hours per day. Now, the graph which will pertain to the 2 hour per day will be a little bit sort of a very small sort of a microscopic, right? Because that is 2 hour per day. So this is the approved capacity. So approved capacity is for 10. So you may use up to 10, right? So the cost of the project is based upon actual utilization. So you are drawing the resources from the resource pool and you are sending them back when you don't need them so that they can be used in some other projects, right? So it means that the programmer has been sorted. Once the programmer has been sorted, we will click on the minus so that we can switch over to the time scale, which is month and week, and we ensure that the complete duration of the project data is visible. So guys, let me show you, point out a bug. So guys, when I do the zoom in and zoom out, you will notice that the capacity line is lost. You see that the capacity line, the dark line, which indicates to me the maximum capacity is lost. And let me tell you another wonder of the wonders. This is a Primavera only bug. This bug exists in the Primavera only. Because without the capacity line, I have no reference to know whether I am up to the capacity or whether I am below the capacity. Okay, so how to get around this bug? So you click some other resource and you come back to it, then the line will come back. I'll show you the bug once again. I'm showing you the bugs because you do not get confused. See this. I expand the time scale, right? And I contract the time scale and the capacity line is lost. This does not happen in any other software. It is not usual behavior. It is not expected to happen. The lines are supposed to be displayed in every scale, whether I expand the scale or whether I contract the scale. See, I expand the scale, the lines should be changed for this scale, right? Now, if I want to see my capacity line, I click on something else and come back. Then I'm able to get this. So when I shrink the time scale by using the bigger units of time, the capacity line is lost, right? So I click something else and come back. So guys, you will remember this bug to work around this bug. Now I select the project manager. So guys, do you need more than one? Guys, do you need more than one project manager? You don't need more than one because the project manager is up to the capacity. I look at the QA manager. So, guys, do you need more than one QA manager? No. So, you don't need. So, guys, you look at the rented PC. Do you need more than one per day? Yes, you do, because you are seeing the red. So red is the overall because what we are looking at the current capacity is a single copy, right? Okay. Now, what my resource manager says that, okay, this is the weekly scale. So for my better comprehension, you show me on daily basis, right? So I switch to the daily basis and I scroll my graph a little bit here. So I've already lost the capacity line. I click some other resource and come back quickly to the rented PC. Then it shows that, okay, that this is my current capacity, then I need these many pieces. So guys, can you tell me that where is it touching on the left side? So you remember the table of 8. So what is just near 50 on table of 8? Think of it. I gave you very good hint. Which value is near to 50 on a table of 8?
48.
48. So you tell your resource manager, sir, I need 6 PC. So guys, you tell me one thing. You are using 48 of the hours of the machine time every day. So guys, you tell me that you quickly pull up your calculator. So what will be like this? 48 the hours multiplied by 6 days. So how many hours would that be? 48 multiplied by 6. How much will be that? You check in your mobile calculator and tell me quickly.
288. 288.
288, right. So I write here 288, and now I will point out to you that this is the cumulative. Guys, do you see that where it but touches this thin green line? It is touching at 288, right? So this is what? This is the cumulative. This is called the cumulative usage of resource. Okay. And on the left side, the scale that you see, so that scale could be daily or weekly or monthly or quarterly usage. So depending upon the scale that you are using. So currently I'm using a daily scale, so I'm seeing the daily scale, right? And on the right side, that is the cumulative usage. Cumulative usage is going to stay constant, right? Okay. So I tell my resource manager that I need 6 computers per day. So he says, fine, that can you show me the numbers? I say, fine, I can show it to you in the numeric format. So I click here. So once I click here, so the numbers are represented, numbers which represent the graph, they come up here on the screen, right? So these are the numbers. The numbers are a little bit squeezed though. I will unsqueeze the call by working upon the second layer of the time scale, right? I hope you remember that the second layer of the time scale is used for expanding, right? So I expand it so that I have a clear view of the numbers. You can see that here are the numbers, right? So these numbers are 48. And if I click on the graph button, the graph will appear here. So he says, yes, fine. I'm going to approve 6 computers. Please enhance the capacity of the computers to 6. I'm approving 6. Okay, let's go into the master record. So Faith, you go into the master in the resource tab.
Sorry, where did I should go to?
Yeah, in the resource tab, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Where do you want me to go to?
unit and prices here, and then you select maximum unit and you change it to 48, right? 48 is going to represent 6 computers, right? So in the world of the project management, we count the capacity of a resource in the man hours or the machine hours. So in fact, you will be writing a note, but not right now for the sake of brevity, we have done that once. So we should keep in mind that each time we are enhancing the capacity of the resource to greater than one, we must write a note, because the fact is that, so guys, I'm asking you a question. Can you use a resource without someone's permission in your organization?
No.
No, you need a permission. So that permission will be basically coming in sort an approval email. In real life, what you will do, you'll paste a copy into the notes tab, right? Okay, now you come back to the activities. So let's see that how does the graph look now after the enhancement of the capacity. After the enhancement of the capacity, so the utilization of the resources within the capacity, which shows that, okay, the resource has been confirmed for usage, right? Now we will once again switch back to the basically the monthly and the weekly scale, and then we will move to the top of the scale. Okay. Now we can see the project duration completely here. Now we will switch to the system analyst. So guys, do you need more than one per day? Yes, you do. Because do you see this red bar here? You need more than one system analyst per day. So you switch to the daily scale, and once you do, and then you can bring the graph here, and you tell your resource manager that, sir, I require the system analyst another one for the 6 days. Do you see this? 6 red bars. See, you have got one, so which is represented here. So on the 6 days, you need another one, which is represented by 16, right? So what you need is this much. You need another one, right? You need another one, right? So this is what you are telling him, that this is my demand. My demand is that I have one, but I need another one. So can you please confirm that you can provide me? So he says that, look, the system analyst is a constrained resource because it is very costly. So what he says is that you reduce the work. Okay. So please reduce the work to the level of one. We cannot provide more than one to any of the project teams. Right? So what you need to do, guys, you need to reduce the work on the 6 days. So guys, you tell me one thing. If you reduce the work on the 6 days, then the duration is going to increase, yes or no? Tell me what your logic says.
Going to affect the duration.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to increase.
If you are doing less work, then it will take longer to finish the work. So guys, the current finish date of the project is 4th of the June. And if I add 6 days to the 4th of the June, what will be the resulting finish date of the project? What will be the new finish date of the project? Okay, if I add a duration of 6 to the current finish date. Think of it. So now, so there are 7 total days in a week, and if you're adding days, there is a good chance that it's going to jump on top of a Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So in fact, if you do the logical maths of the calendar, it says that it's going to finish on the 11th of the June. If I reduce the work, so guys, this is called resource leveling. Leveling means that you are reducing the work to match the capacity of the existing quantity of the resource. You're not going to get more. So you will have to reduce the work. If you flatten something from the top, it's bound to expand at the bottom, right, guys? Okay. So if you reduce, so guys, let's keep the finish date in the view. So let me expand the screen a little bit so that we can understand the process. So guys, please look at the current finish date. That is 4th of the June. So what we have calculated logically, if I add 6 days, so due to the nature of the calendar, so one non-working day getting involved, the resulting finish date will be around 11th of the June. Right, guys? Is that clear? That makes a logical sense. You've seen that happening, right? Okay. Now, so Faith, so you will do the resource leveling. So you click here. This is the resource leveling button. So you guys, so this is a scale you must have seen in the grocery stores. I'm not sure if you see these days, but we have seen this in our childhood. You click that button, level resource. Okay, so that is represented by a grocery scale. The grocer used to level. If he wanted a particular weight, so he will put the weight and then he will put the stuff. And if the stuff is more, he will take out some stuff. And if the stuff is less, he will put some more stuff so that he will level, right? So he was doing, you know, item leveling, right? To give us the fair weight. Fine. So, guys, this is a box that you should uncheck immediately. You should never use this level all resources. Why? Because your organization is always willing to provide you all the resources you need. You will level the resource only which cannot be provided, not all, right? Is that clear? And that would be a rare exception as now. Now you will click on the select resource. Click this. So after you have selected the resource, you select a system analyst because that is the resource that could not be provided to you right now. So after selecting system analyst, you click on the OK button. So after you clicked on the OK, so you are going to tell the software I want to level, but before that you set this to the automatic. Now, why you are doing that? Because once you level the resource, and if all the activities are basically updated or something is done, so you want it to remain leveled automatically in the future after this point. So you have done it manually and you want to stay it to be done automatically. Now you click on the level button for now. Now what the software will do, it will compute the increased duration as per the current capacity of the resource. So it has determined that if you work with one system analyst, then your finish date will be 11th of June. Right, guys? Is that clear? Logic is clear? Because some people say no, 4th of the June plus 6, we should be 10th. But you have to understand, guys, on a calendar, there are non-working days. So if you're trying to extend the duration, there is a very good chance you'll have to jump over a non-working day. Faith, yes or no? Guys, please say something. Yes or no?
I'm here, but to tell you, my head is.
So you get some, pure coffee from Ghana, okay? So
I'm also not following anymore.
okay, don't worry. So, guys, you don't like coffee at all? Why? Because the coffee is not going to hurt your system, right? So basically, I'm not asking you to drink excessive coffee. So if you drink 1 cup just during the session, that's going to basically refresh your mind, right? So just dissolve the coffee, put nothing else. Just 1 spoon of coffee in the water, warm water, and you drink it, you will be fine. Okay. So you will be able to comprehend. Okay. Sometimes I also used to feel that way because I worked as a project manager in the IT industry. In IT industry, the project manager's role undergoes the maximum grinding and polishing, right? Is that clear? So basically, that's, some people say, oh, that is a professional hazard. Yeah, I say yes. Everywhere there is a professional hazard. If you are a soldier, there is a professional hazard. If you are a doctor, some treatment can go wrong and you could be sued for millions, you could be jailed. That is also a professional hazard. If you are a movie producer, your movies could flop, you could lose millions. That is a professional hazard. So tell me one profession, there is no professional hazard. Everywhere there is a professional hazard, right? So basically, so we have to basically live with that. Okay. So that is part of life. Okay. So when our ancestors were cavemen, every day there was a professional hazard. They will go out to hunt, and that was a professional hazard, right? Even getting the food was a hazard, right? Okay. So you climbed on a tree to get some fruit, and you were banged by the gorilla, right? No? Yes or no?
You are correct.
Yet, so the best thing that you can learn, you go to the Maasai guys, right? So they hunt the lions. So that is the best you can do if you really want to be good in everything. Because if you go and live with them for 15 days, you will come back with a lot of lessons of survival. Don't worry, guys. My dad used to say, you civilians, you live in the most comfortable environments. You should go and work where I work, right? So he used to work on the mountains which were having the temperature of minus 26 degrees centigrade. So when I used to visualize that, I feel very comfortable, right? So that's okay. Fine. We can go beyond our normal 8 hours. We can go to 12. That's not a problem. That's once in a while, but that's not good every day. Today we can do it. So now we will reduce the time scale. Okay, so that we see the entire duration and you can see the usual bug, but no worries. We are going to the next, that is test engineer. So guys, by looking at the graph, you tell me, do you need another one? Do you need more than one? See, we have this red bar.
It's red. We will need, yes, we would need more.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So what I do, I show it to the resource manager and the resource manager looks at it. So I tell him, look, I would need another test engineer for 14 days. So guys, I'm giving you the count. There are 14 red bars. So on this 14 days, I will need another one. He says, yes, approve, take it. So we have got test engineers. So, okay, Faith, you go to the resources.
Hello? Please,
Yeah.
1 minute before I click on resources. How do you come about 14 days?
See, you just count the red bars. You will see 14 red bars. So it means that on 14 days, you need another test engineer. You count the red bars.
Okay, thank you. I got it.
So he says, yeah, fine, I can provide you another one because I don't want your project to be delayed any further because my original plan was to finish on the 4th, right? So it has already shifted to the 11th. If I delay it any further, it might go to the end of the June, which is not basically acceptable by any means, right? So what you do, he approves 2, right? So you make it 16, so it will become 2 test engineers. So you go to the max units per time, and then it becomes 2. So right now you are having a capacity of 2 test engineer, and that levels off, right? So it makes sure that you are having the capacity you need. So basically, before you even start the project, you must have a meeting so that, the resource manager knows that, okay, that this is the requirement, right? So let me do the same. Let me write here 16. So that represents 2. And when I come back at the activities and look at the graph capacity is upgraded to 16, right? 16 means 2 people per day is the approved capacity. You can use 2, you can use less than 2, right? So now I would look at the trainer. So first of all, I reduce the time scale. So that brings the entire project in view. Then I click on the trainer. So once I click on the trainer, so the trainer is fine. So I can do with one trainer, right? So now it is leveled off. So what is the next step? I conclude my meeting. So this is the conclusion of the meeting. So let me show it to you. So what is the conclusion of the meeting? So the conclusion of the meeting is like this. Just a moment. So let me get the. So the conclusion of the meeting is like this. This was approved. So this was approved. This was approved, right? And what was not approved? So the system analyst was not approved because he said that, look, this is a costly resource. We can provide you only one. So you must have experienced that in your childhood, right? Right? When you had a lot of siblings, So earlier, people used to have a lot of kids. So basically, you must have experienced that, due to the resource constraint, your parents said, no, you have that much. You share it with your brothers, right? You share that with your sisters, right? Okay. So this is how it is. So there is a resource constraint here. So we are not going to get that. So that's why our original plan has shifted from 4th to the 11th of the June. So this is what it is now. We are fine with this and we are done. So I come back. After the conclusion of the meeting, I come back to my team. I present the plan to my team. So guys, so this plan got updated because one resource is short, that is system analyst. So my plan has shifted to 11. So you guys are fine with this? They say, yes, boss, we are committed. So we will complete the project by the 11th of June, and we will finish the project for the client within agreed price, and we will give the client a product which matches his expected or standards or quality acceptance criteria to the least. Right? Is that clear, guys? So these three promises are made a pledge internally by the team, and we fulfill that pledge. Now, what is the next step? The next step is that we will baseline the project. So guys, we are done with the planning phase.
Sir,
So that
thank
ends.
you, sir. Before we,
Okay.
sir, sorry, I have a question or clarity.
Yeah,
Before we
yeah.
move further, I can see that, for the PM and the test engineer, we didn't create a new resource. We use the existing one under the IST calendar. Can we go there, please? Okay, yes. So you can see the calendar is IST, right? So
See,
on this project,
no,
yes.
no.
So
But
now,
let me tell you. Let me tell you. So what you have pointed out, you have pointed out the correct thing. Basically, it is wrong. Basically, why it is wrong? Because, I just imported the data from my system. It should be using the calendar of your project, right? It should be using the SD 2026 calendar. What you have pointed out is right. And due to the lack of time, it has happened. It should be using
okay.
exactly, I'll just tell you that what should be the name of the calendar that this project should be using. Basically, the name of the calendar that this project, these resources should be using is SD 2026, right? So let me click on this. I think it's on your second window, perhaps, right? So do you see something there, the calendar toolbox?
Yeah, I'll bring it down. Yeah.
Grab this. Yes, you are right. So what you have pointed is right. Basically, this was done by one of my students, right? You see the name of the student here. Actually, that should be as the 2026. Okay. So basically, I will mark it as a perfect result. So it should be that for all the resources. So this should be the default type of calendar. But due to the lack of time, so I could not do it. It should be like this. And this resource should be also using this calendar only, but we can fix it. If I go into the details of the test engineer, I can immediately change the calendar to the current project calendar. So I believe that you got a window, right? You grab that window and bring it. Yes, you pointed it right. You have done the right thing. Yes. It should be using the project type of calendar only because this is a full-time resource, right? Yes. Good. So you are now noticing things. This should be it, right? In fact, the project manager should be also using this calendar only, the perfect result calendar. So you bring the window here. Yes. Now we should be selecting the perfect result, right? Because this is the calendar for this. In fact, the QA manager also needs a correction. He should be also using the same calendar, right? Because he is a full-time employee in this project, and the his working days should match from the perfect result calendar only, right? His work and non-work days should be as per the perfect result calendar. Yes, okay, fine. So if you can spend a little bit more time, I have no problem, right? That's okay. So you bring up the window here and you select the calendar. You select the perfect result at the calendar and click on the selection button. Yes. Okay. And then one resource is left to be fixed. You fix the QA manager. Okay. So just you select the QA manager and then you change his calendar to the perfect result at the calendar. So yes, you change it to the perfect result and click yes. That is what is perfection. This is what we need. That's good. This is appreciated. Okay. Now we come to the activities. So once we come to the activities, so guys, let me tell you that where we are, as per the project phase of the life cycle, we have completed the planning phase, right? Now we are going to enter the execution phase. So we must freeze the good values. Okay, so let's do this. So since we do not have the baseline bar activated initially because it's a fresh installation, we will activate the baseline bar. So you right click here and you select bars. So after you select the bars, so I would like you to select this checkbox which says primary baseline. You select the primary baseline, right? Now, since we want to have a full view, so I will use the full thickness because it is showing you a thin bar. I will make it a full thickness here. So then I click on the OK, then you will start seeing the baseline. Okay, so this is the baseline. Now, let me tell you about the primary baseline. See, the baseline, when it is initially included, it is unfrozen baseline, not frozen, right? So I'll show you that how does an unfrozen baseline behave like. So if I type here 14, okay, into the duration, the baseline will also expand. So it means that it has not been frozen, right? So basically, I expect the baseline to be frozen. And if I'm increasing the duration of any activity, if I'm getting delayed, it will tell me by comparison, right? So be it. Now, what I do, I need to freeze the baseline. So what you do, you go to the left side. So there is one of the buttons. So I think which was not activated. There was one more button we have here in this window. That is maintain baseline, right? Okay, yes. So now, first of all, we will click on the button maintain baseline. Okay, so in the maintenance of the baseline, we will be able to set a baseline. We will be able to freeze the data to create a baseline. So you click that button which says maintain baseline. So maintain baseline will help us to create a baseline. Now you can see that this is the window for maintaining the baseline. So let me do this thing. Let me stretch the name of the project a little bit more so that you can see the complete name of the baseline once it is created. Now you click on the add button here. So I want you to read this, the faith, you read this. What does it say?
Save a copy of the current project as a new baseline.
Yes, this is very important because what you have is a perfectly planned data. So you need to create a copy and you need to keep it there. It is just like cloning the data. Yes, it's easy because it is just data. So you can create a clone. Now, why? So I'll just tell you. So suppose if you want to see the progress of a child, so you take the picture of the child at first year on a particular spot, you make the child wear a particular dress and you take the picture, and next year you take the picture of the child standing in the same position. Then next year, third year, fourth year. So guys, you tell me, if you compare the first year picture of the child with the second, third, fourth, you will be seeing the difference. Yes or no? Because the children, they grow very fast, right? Yes or no?
True.
Right? So you will be able to see the difference. Okay, so it is just like that. So basically we say that, okay, the first year picture of the child is the baseline picture, and I can see that what is the progress in height, in weight, right? So we can basically make a visual observation, but of course the doctors, those who are child specialists, they have a file, that contains the baseline data taken from the general population. Then they take the measurement of the child for various health parameters. They compare with the baseline. Then they ask you to bring the child to the clinic, say every 6 months, so they can see the progress. So they can basically find out if there is any healthy issue, right? So they can do an early treatment. So that is the thing. So we want to monitor the health of the project. That's why I want to save a snapshot of perfect values. So these values are perfect as per all the stakeholders. These are agreed values. So I click on the OK. So once I click on the OK, you will see the baseline one is created. Now, the question is that many people ask, sir, how many baselines we can have? We can have infinite baselines because that is limited only by the size of the database. Does it mean that we should have infinite baselines? No. Morally speaking, no. Why? We can change the baseline only if the client changes something. But you should not change your baseline, right? Baseline is what? Baseline is a commitment. Is that clear, guys? How, why the client can change the baseline? Client says, look, I want to change the product details. So then you will have to redesign the product. You have to recalculate the new activities. Then you will re-baseline the project. So you'll have a new value of duration, cost, resource units. And then you will tell the client, look, this is the impact of the change that you demanded. He says, okay, come from, done. So then you will create B2, right? Or if there is a corona-like pandemic, because that is an external factor, for that we might use a new baseline, because I faced the situation where I had to re-baseline a project at least 6 times during the year 2020 till 2021. So we were hopeful, okay, we'll be able to start it in the next quarter. In the next quarter, we continue to do it. And after 6 tries, we just said, okay, let's wait for the whole world to become normal. Then we will see that when we can start this project. So when everything was normal, we had the vaccines, and then we started to basically try to get the people. So we found that many of the people, they were dead. So we had to find new people, and new people said, no, we will not come. We are fine in our towns and villages, and we don't want to take any health risk. Then we had to get them with doubled wages, right? That then escalated the cost baseline. Okay, so that is okay, because if you have a project which is normal, which is not going to face any kind of drastic situation, not from the client, not from the weather, not from the climate, okay, so you should be able to finish with one baseline. Okay, but nevertheless, Primavera lets you create infinite baseline. MS Project lets you create the 11 baseline maximum, right? But we don't need that really, guys. We should basically be very, very good in controlling. So click on the close button. So we have created the baseline. So maintain baseline will help you create the baseline. Now we are going to utilize the baseline, right? So guys, there is another button here. It says assign baseline, right? It is having a small little arrow. Click that.
Do you want me to click on it?
No, yes, you have to click here. Right now you are doing it. Okay, so that you remember. Now, because if you do it, you will remember it. So now you select here B1, and here also you select B1, okay? Because you will apply the baseline which you just created, and that will freeze. Yeah, that's right. That's good. Now, once you have done that, you click on the OK. So guys, so what you have done, you have frozen the baseline, right? Now you check that out. You go to the requirement gathering duration, and you change it to 14. Okay. So look at the Gantt chart. So what do you see? Do you see that the baseline stays at its place and the actual moves, right? So that is the baseline and that is the actual. So on the top, the lines which are on the top, they represent actual value. And the lines which are below, which are the yellow, they represent frozen value, baseline value, right? Now you say that, okay, I'm going to take a corrective action. So what you do, you go to the duration of the requirement of gathering and you change it back to 11. And you will see that the corrective action will give you the visual cue. It will tell you, yes, 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 everything's back on the baseline. So because you have something to compare against, right? Now, this is the visual baseline, but baseline is not only for the time, but there is a baseline for cost. There is a baseline for all the resources, man, machine, material, and cash, right? So, guys, so we are done with the planning. So now we are going into the tracking mode. So we will replace the layout, which is the tracking layout. Okay. So before we bid goodbye to this layout, so we must always save the layout. So you click this layout to save it up to here, right? So that when you come here next time, you will get the same kind of design. Now you click on the open layout. Now we will use and apply the project tracking layout. So the tracking layout is actually in the folder. So you click on the import button and then you will go
Sorry,
to
sir. Before we move further, these we save automatically as resource underscore cost layout. Is it not necessary to name it something unique? It doesn't matter.
fine, you can name it. Yeah, that's your choice. You can name it because if you share, then it is useful to name it. Okay. So right now you can just keep that in mind. Okay. Click on the import. Yeah. So now you click here, click on the up arrow. No, no, don't click there. Just click on the up arrow. You will be able to see the layout folder.
This one.
Yeah. Just click.
This one.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. One level up. So you select the layout files. You double click this folder, layout files. Now inside the layout files folder, so guys, you will see the project tracking layout. Okay, you select this layout, and once you select, you click on the open. Okay, so once you clicked on the open, and you will see the layout name, and you click save. Okay, and once you click save, it appears under the user admin. Now click on the open button once again. Open, what it does, applies the layout and closes the box. Apply makes you stay here. So you will see a lot of columns here, but don't worry. These are very easy to comprehend now. These will seem very reasonable, right? So guys, I'm going to help you understand it. If you look at the pairing, so what you're saying is the baseline duration and the actual duration. So actual column will be 0 because you have not yet have
Do
an
you want to increase the fonts or change the font to?
no, they are not going to fit. They are the perfect size. No, don't change the font. They will be going off the screen. Okay, just don't change any font. We don't have any time for that. So if you look at the dates, so dates are not numbers. So guys, let me tell you what is a date. Date is a fact. Either the fact is there or it is not there. So you will never see 0 in any blank date column, right? So it will be blank, means that the date is not available. So this date will come when you do something. Now let us look at the next pair of the data, that is BL1 labor cost and actual labor cost. This is how the data is being paired. So baseline non-labor cost and baseline and actual non-labor cost, right? So I'm sure that you can see the pairing. So then you see this BL1 material and actual material. Okay. Then you will see this. So baseline one expense and actual expense. You see that? Okay. So, these are the pair of the data. So here is another pair of the data, that is the total cost of the activity and actual total cost. So all the actuals will be 0 and the variance will be also 0. So the variance will come when actuals come in. Now what we will do, we'll start executing the activity and we will monitor and we will control and we will report. Okay, fine. So let us continue to execute the project. Now,
So, may I ask, like, how many minutes more do you think we're going to be here? I'm sorry that I had to interrupt there.
there will be around 120 minutes.
Around 20 minutes. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now what we do, so before we go to the execution phase, for the execution phase, we need to switch on the time component, right? Because till this point, we were not using the time component, but while during the tracking phase, we need to see the time component. Actually, we will not expand the column size, but we will just insert the time component. So you click on the user preferences. So once you click on the user preferences, so you select the 12-hour time format. Now click on the close button. So once you click on the close, the time component will be, but we don't expand it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We don't need to see. We just need it for the reporting the purposes, right? For the comparison of we don't need to see it. We need it internally for some purpose. It will be obvious in a while. Now I go to the first one, which is a start milestone. So after going there, then I switch on the Gantt chart. So once I switch on the Gantt chart, so I'll have to balance the screen between the table and the Gantt chart. So I make it a sort of like 50-50, right? And since the milestone is of the time scale, so what I do a double click here, kit. So once I do that, the milestone appears on the Gantt chart, right? Right? Do you see this? Milestone has been traced here. So I will go to the project start. Now, after I go to the project start, I will switch on the detail. So click on the detail button so that you can see detail, so that we can do the status updates here. Okay, so we will basically reduce the height of this lower window so that we are able to give it a justified width, so which I believe can be a little bit more or less. Yeah. So now you leave it here, which is absolutely fine. Now we select the milestone once more. We make sure that we are going to status update the milestone, right? Now, so guys, there are three things that we update. Status updates the schedule, and resources updates the resource units. So there are three resources: man. So we enter the actual man hours, we enter the actual machine time, we enter the actual material consumption in the resources. Now the third is the cash. Cash is updated in the expenses tab, right guys? Is that clear? Okay, now we will go to the first one, that is the status. So inside the status tab, you will see a status block. So guys, do you see this? A pair of dates started and finished. So that is used to capture actual start and actual finish. So is this thing clear?
Yes, sir.
So because we have to enter the data, actual data, because when we enter the actual data, then it will be compared against the baseline data. And if there is any variance, so that we can understand, and then we can take the respective corrective action. Now we go to the started checkbox and we select it because it's a milestone. You see, milestone has only one date, right? So it updates, right? So we don't have any resources on the milestone. Now, guys, what happens? Look, the activity symbol has turned blue. Do you see that? The shade of the activity symbol. So, this has turned blue. Blue means completed. And if it is green means it is not completed. And if it is blue and green, it means that it has started but not completed. It is a work in progress, right? So this one is marked as complete because it's a milestone. And what happens in real life, see, when you are working on the server environment, okay, the server will generate an email and it will send the alert to all the stakeholders listed in the project, right? So they will get an alert email, or someone who is using an Android application, he will get the alert in the Android format. So people will come to know that the project has started. So the milestone has been updated as complete. So now this is the next activity. So you come to the requirement gathering. So you are having a status meeting with your team member. You select this activity. So you ask your team member, guys, have you completed? They say, yes, boss, we have completed. But boss, this is delayed by 2 days. we took 2 extra days to complete it. It means that the actual duration is 13 days, right? Okay, so we will see that what happens in the project when we have variance, right? So that you can basically deal with that in real life. So we are trying to simulate through the exercise some instances of real life. So when you face them in real life, I'm sure you will be able to deal with them sufficiently well. So you select the started checkbox. Then you also select the finish checkbox, because what you are going to tell the Primavera, we have started the activity and we have finished it. So you will see that the activity is marked in blue color, right? Blue means completed. But the thing is that he took 2 days extra. So from the timesheet, you gather that he finished it actually on 15th, right? Because people fill their timesheets. So you change the finish date to 15th. Okay, so you have selected it to 15. Now I want you to notice once again, do you see the comparison against the baseline? You see that it is taking 2 days extra, right? So it was
Yeah.
originally targeted to finish on the 11th, right? So, but it finished 2 days extra. It took 2 days extra, that is Tuesday and Wednesday. So it finished on the Wednesday, which is the 15th, right? So, okay, it has taken extra duration. Now you ask your team member, guys, are you sure that it is correct information? So they say, yes, boss, it is correct. Yeah. So then what do you do? So you say, fine, I'm going to log the data, because if the information is correct, so you have to understand your role is that of the truth keeper. Truth of the data is in your hands, right? So you are sort of in a bank, you are sort of the bank manager. You're managing all the money. So you are the project manager. You are managing all the data, right? So you say that, okay, let me freeze the data because it is the truth at this point. So you will click on the update progress button here. Click that button.
That one.
After you click the update progress, you will see this interface. Now just wait, don't touch anything. I will show you something which is very unique to the Primavera. In fact, it is a very wonderful feature. So now you select the selected activities only. Click here because that is a safe option. You click that. Now do you see this? This is a column here. It says new data date. So I told you what is the meaning of the data date. The data date is the date till which you are updating the data. So which date you are updating the data? So you are updating the data till 15th of January, right, guys? So you tell the Primavera, I'm updating the data. Just wait. I'm updating till 15th of January 6 p.m. That's why the time component is important to be included in the display. You scroll up till you get 6 p.m. Okay. You continue to use the up scroll button. Just go ahead. 6 p.m. No, not too much. You are rushing. 6 p.m. You just scroll backward till you more. Once more. Stop. So you have got 6 p.m. and you click on the select. So guys, I will show you that what is the beautiful feature. The beautiful feature is that whatever range of the dates you are updating, the Primavera gives you a visual confirmation, right? So that your mind can perceive, even if you are working during the rush hour, so your mind can perceive, oh yes, that looks right. I'm updating the data actuals up to this point. Yeah, that is correct. So then you tell the Primavera, yes, that's correct, and you apply the actuals up to this date. Now click here, apply. That's a visual confirmation, right? Now click on the OK. Fine. Now here is a small little bug. So while you told it to update till the 13th, till the 15th, it has brought the date back to 13th. Since you are the data keeper, you are the truth keeper, you say, no, the truth is that this activity finished on the 15th. You change it back to the 15th in the finish date. This is the actual finish. Because it's a small bug. I don't know why it jumps back. So once you do it, then you will see that this is the new data date line, right? So what does this line mean? That all the data on the left hand side, it is frozen, right? And all the data on the right hand side, it is yet to be done. So I'm just marking that as a green, right? Green means that it is open to be done, and on the left side, it is all frozen, right? Okay. So then your primary resource tells you that, boss, we have basically some update on the resource. Okay. So what is the update? Update is this. So guys, you first you come to the resource tab. So you tell me, guys, if a person works 13 days, so how many man hour does he provide? How many man hour does he work? 13 multiplied by 8. How much is that? How much? Guys, please quickly, you do it in the calculator. Use the calculator, keep the calculator open, and quickly in your mobile phone, you do 13 multiplied by 8 and give me a quick answer. Respond. A project manager is, very proactive manager.
104. 104.
Yeah,
104.
that's what I expect. Don't be frozen, okay? Yeah, you do it on the calculator. That's it. 104, right? Yeah,
Can I change it?
yeah. So actual will be 104. So you are capturing the actual. Now, guys, look at the budgeted cost and the actual cost. Do you see that there is a variance where the person actually worked for 13 days, right? Okay, now there is a third thing which is to be tracked. So your primary resource says that, boss, we spent some money on lunch. I say, fine, if you spent it, let me put it into the actuals. So you select expenses here. You select here expenses. And then you click on the add. And then you write here a simple narrative. You write here lunch, right? So we are just keeping it short, but in real life, you will write what is the actual, right? What was the actual? Now you press enter. Now in the expensive category, you will select staff welfare because providing the lunch is staff welfare, right? So you click here. So in the window that comes up, you select staff welfare and you close the window. Okay. Now he says that, the actual cost which we spent was like 600. So you write in the actual cost column 600. There is no budgeted cost anymore because we are past the planning, right? Okay. Now the entire data has been captured. Now let us look at the data and how it looks.
Well,
We
what
have
would this be?
monitoring, right?
Accurate type. Accurate type. We'll leave this as uniform.
Yeah.
The accurate type.
Just a moment. No, auto compute we don't need. Okay. Now let us compare the data. Okay. So I'll help you understand it. Say this. See, what was the planned finish of the activity? 13, right? And what is the actual finish date of the activity? 15th, right?
Mhm.
Look at the duration. What was the baseline duration? 11.
11 days.
And what is the actual duration? 13. So
13
you
days.
see that by comparison, your mind can perceive that there has been a delay of 2 days, right? Now, if you compare the labor cost, the person worked 13 days instead of the 11. So definitely, according to his pay rate, so the actual labor cost is 6240, right? Is that clear?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. Now let us look at the cash. If you look at the planned value, it was not a planned expenditure because the planned value is 0. The actual is 600, right, guys? So this is called incidental expense. Okay, it happened due to some incident. Okay, now here is the baseline cost and actual total cost of the entire activity. So do you see that there is a variance here? You look at the rightmost column, that is the variance column. So let me make it a little bit more easy, right? See this. So you can see that it is mentioned in the bracket. So bracket means that that is an extra amount of money spent, right? Instead of writing minus, because if you do this 5280 minus 6840, you will get minus 1560 in the calculator, right? But in the financial domain, we don't write minus, we write bracket, right? So that explains that that is an extra expenditure, right? Is that clear, guys? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So now, what is the next step? We have done monitoring. Now, we will do the controlling. So you are a proactive manager. You will call for a team meeting. So
Do
you,
I need, okay, sorry, sir. I don't, we don't need to put it. I just want to ask. So in a situation like this, and this was the unplanned expenses, like, so do I need to put in notes?
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
if that is justified in your organization, if you feel that will be basically appreciated, if you feel that your organization is very disciplined and process based, you can write a note. You can write a note about it, right? Okay. So you keep that in mind, but for the sake of this training, we are keeping that as an understanding. We are not going to do it right away, right? But you can basically write a, some note for yourself. Okay, when I work in real life, I will write a notebook. So that will be appreciated by others, right? So, that will make you look more professional in your approach to the project management, right? Okay. If you explain your constraints with a note, that will be appreciated. Okay. Because the constraint, they don't occur by themselves. Someone puts them. Now, if you put it and if you explain it, that will be good. Now, let's come to the main point, focus. What we have done execution, we have done monitoring. Now we have to do controlling. So controlling means taking a corrective action. Okay. So now you tell me, Faith, that if you are delayed on the milestone, do you think client will be in a mood to pay?
Of course, no.
No. So what you do, you call for a team meeting and you tell your team, guys, we have to pull up, we have to crash. So let us look at the opportunity to crash, on which activity there is an opportunity to crash. So you look at this activity is Faith. Now I'm talking to you only, right? So now you tell me that on which activity out of these four activities which are remaining before the milestone, which one do you think is crashable? Which one do you think it has something which you can crash? We need to crash 2 days because we are delayed by 2 days. So which activity do you think it has something?
Is it among the four or the three? We closed out the first one, requirement analysis. Is it
Yes,
part of it?
absolutely good. Absolutely good. Now you are putting your PMP to real use, right? So basically you tell your guys, so guys, can you crash that? So they, yes, boss. So we can crash that. Do you need extra resource? They say, no, boss, we don't need extra resource, but we need extra time in the evening. Right? So what we will do, that we will not bring in any new people. So we will work some extra man hours in the evening and we will crash it. So let me show you their plan, right? So Faith, where is the Excel sheet, right? So can you bring up the Excel sheet? That is the Primavera notes. Can you bring it here? So guys, this is the real project management. Yes, the planning takes time, but if you have a very solid baseline, so managing the project is not a problem. Okay, so Faith, can you bring up the
Okay, is it
I'm
the
thinking
Primavera notes? Is
yeah,
that the sheet you're talking about?
yeah. So you bring it here so that people can see that. Okay.
Okay.
So I think it is on your secondary monitor or whatever.
maybe I was thinking if you want to crash the interview users and system analysis.
Oh, actually, you are sharing only the Primavera. So, the Zoom won't show me the Excel sheet. Now, let me do this thing. Let me stop sharing. Now, you'll have to reshare your screen with the full share option. You'll have to share
Okay.
screen. So then I'll be able to see the Excel because when you tell the Zoom that I want to share only the Primavera, all other softwares will be they will not be visible. They will show as dark spots. So you share the same monitor, but use the option entire screen. Okay, fine. Now we will, you just give me the remote. Okay. Now we go to the Excel. The Faith, you click the Excel to maximize it on the screen so that we can see it. Maximize the Excel.
What is actually?
I want you to maximize the Excel so that it is on the view. This one is
Oh,
you maximize that so that it spreads on the screen. Oh, I think it has gone to your secondary monitor, right? Oh,
can you see?
Faith, just immediately
Yeah.
get your charger. Otherwise, we'll unnecessarily, waste time. Immediately connect your charger because that's a very dangerous situation.
Oh, thank you.
Laptop charger.
Yeah.
Yes, that is good. Now you expand the Excel so that we can see that on this monitor. I think it has gone to the second monitor. Now you drag it from there to here. Okay, you drag it. Okay, that's yeah, that is good. Okay, fine.
But
Now,
that's a smaller screen. Are you okay with that?
yeah. So that's fine. We are fine with that. On Excel, what we can do, we can adjust the magnification to fit it. Okay, that's not a problem. So guys, you look at the schema. So if the people work the total 64 man hours spread over a duration of 8 days, every day they work 8 man hours per day. So if people work 8 man hours per day, so their business end of the business time is like 6 p.m., right? So people can basically finish their job every day at 6 p.m., which is normal, right? 6 p.m. Where is the text I wrote? Where is it gone? What happened to the text? I wrote the text and it is gone. See, let me bring this here. I wrote something here, right? Just wait. Let me write it in this column here. Let me write. See, I'm writing 6 p.m., okay? So, is it in the right mode? Can I write here? Oh, yes, enable saving. Okay, fine. So, I think now I can write. Okay, let me see if I can write. Yeah, now I can write, yes. Now, if I work 8 hours per day, I finish at 6 p.m., right? But suppose if I speed up my work and I say that, okay, we will basically, reduce the duration to 6 days. So, guys, if you're trying to do the same work in 6 days, obviously the man hours you will have to contribute is more. Like every day you will have to work 10.67 man hours. I'll tell you that 10.67 man hours, it maps to 8:40 p.m. finish time, right? Not 6:40, sorry. It will map to 8:40 finish time. Okay, because if you look at the 10, so 10 means extra 2 hours, and 0.67, if you want to convert it into the minutes, the calculation is very simple. So you do this thing 0.67 multiplied by 60, right? So you're converting the decimal into minutes. So if you do that, it will give you 40 minutes. So if you work every day for 10.67 man hours, so you will be able to finish at 8:40 p.m. So everybody says, yes, boss, we can do it. We will not need extra people, but we will put in extra time. But we need two things from you, that we will need some extra cash for two things. I say, fine, approved. So tell me what. They say we need some extra cash for the cab, right? And it will be like 350 per day for 6 days. So that will be adding up to 2100. And then we will need some money for the dinner. I say, fine. So how much you need? So we need like 400 per day for 6 days. So that amounts up to 2400, right? So now I am going to basically see that how much that adds up. So that adds up to 4500, right? 4500. Okay, I say, yeah, approved, right? I say approved. Why, guys? I'll just tell you. So I'm mentioning this fact, why I approved it. Right? Is this clear, guys? Just keep it in mind. Okay? In bold letter, a project is always cheaper when finished on time, because you retain the business relationship, you retain the business reputation, which is much, much more than the approved. See, my milestone payment is running into millions, and if I approved some extra spend of 4,500, it doesn't matter, right? Okay. So a project is always cheaper when finished on time. So we make sure that we keep our commitment. Now we will use this fact and we will crash the activity, right? So we will minimize the Excel sheet. Now you bring up the Primavera here. Maximize it. Yes, that is good. Now, guys, so how do we capture that? First of all, I will go into the general tab, right? No, in the status, sorry, in the status. So in the status, I'm going to mark the status of this activity as started and finished. So once I mark it as started and finished, then I tell the Primavera, look, I crashed it, so I finished it on the 22. So when you finish it on the 22, you look at the activity and the baseline. Do you see that, guys? What happened? The finish of the activity is now aligned with the baseline finish, right? So it means that you caught up with the baseline. You have taken a corrective action. Then I ask my guys, so guys, is this information correct? So they say, yes, boss, this is correct. Okay. So then I say, fine, I'm going to log the data. I click on the update progress button. After that, I mark the new data date as 22 January 6 p.m. because I'm updated till 22 January 6 p.m., right? And the Primavera, it shows me the yellow highlighter. Oh, you are updating this range of the days. Yes, I say, yeah, fine. I'm updating this range of the dates, right? So apply the update. And here, once again, I will show you the bug. What happens when I applied the update, it split the task. Not to worry, I will select the finish checkbox and once again mark the finish date of the activity at 22. Okay, so this thing basically shows that my data has been updated till the 22, right? And then the thing which I need to update is my expenses. So I have to enter here two expenses. So first of all, the expenses, okay. So Faith, you click on the add button here to write the two expense items. So the first expense item you write here is the dinner. Write here dinner. And then you select the expense category as staff welfare because that is welfare of the staff. If you are providing money for dinner, you click on the add button here. And then you go to the actual unit because this is not a planned amount. So dinner you spent for the dinner is 2,400, right? You write here actual cost as 2,400. So there is no budgeted cost for that. And now you click on the add once again. And then you write here cab. Okay, so it is cab.
Tab.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. You press enter. In the expense category, you select travel, not transport. Transport is for good, travel is for people. People travel, goods transport. So you in the search box, you type here TRAV. Okay, you have already scrolled. Yeah, fine. You select and the actual is for the cab is 2100, right? And you press enter. So once you do, all this data is now captured into the system and we can see the side-by-side comparison in the table format. So on the screen, so let me do this. Let me see if I can reduce the scrolling by squeezing some of the columns so that I can see it in minimum scroll, because this is the, I believe this is the laptop monitor, right? Okay, so I'll have a little bit of scrolling, never mind. See, what was the original planned duration for this? 8 days, right? You pulled it up in 6, you crashed it, right? Okay. So now let us look at the dates. Let us look at the dates. So if you look at the start date, the planned start date was 14, right? And the actual start date, it was 16. So actually you started this activity 2 days late, right? Yes, sir. But you managed to finish it on the baseline date, right? You started this activity 2 days later, but actually you managed to finish it. Okay. Now, if you come to the labor cost here, so I'll just tell you, you go into the resources, you go into the resources here in the resource. So in the resource tab, the budgeted units of the work, which were for 8 days, was 64, and actual work which was done is also 64. You enter here 64 because you did the same amount of the work, but instead of doing spreading it over 8 days, you worked it over 6 days. You write here actual regular units equal to 64. You write here 64. And press enter. See, labor-wise, there is no difference because these are internal resources. Internal resources, they operate at same pay rate, right? Now, where is the difference? Because I facilitated this guys for the expenses, right? So I will scroll a little bit toward the right so that I can see expenses. So you will see that there was no planned expense, but actual expenses 4,500, right? And if you look at the closure of the activity closed with a variance of 4,500. So 4,500 is, you can see that it is due to the reason of the actual expense like this. Okay, is this clear? So it is you can ascribe it to basically the dinner and the lunch, right? Now we are going to generate a report. We want to report the status to the stakeholders, right? So here is the reports button here. You click that button and you will get into the reports tab. Now I will teach you with a best practice. Now you collapse all the reports which you see here. First of all, you will create your own report group. Yeah. So if you collapse it, and then there is a report button. So let me activate that button because it was not activated, I believe. Report groups. So I'll tell you a best practice. See, what I used to do. So Primavera comes with a lot of packaged reports. You can use them and you can modify them also. But later on, after a couple of years, I realized that modifying and packaged report is a bad idea, because then you realize that the original report which came as a package, that was better. So what is a good idea? The good idea is that you make a copy. You modify the copy, you leave the original report as intact, right? Don't touch that. Okay. You take a copy, you create version 1, version 2, version 3, version N, as many as you want. So the best practice is that you create your own report group. So you click here. And then you click on the add button. Click on the add button here. And then you write here reports created by Faith. You create this group with your own name, right? Because you are working in a networked environment so everybody can see. So that is the collection of your own reports. Reports created by Faith. Okay. And then you press enter. Press enter first. Now you shift up this group to the top. You click on the move up button. So this appears on the top. Now you close the box. Close this box. So you have your own group of the reports, right? Now you are going to basically take copies, modify, create a version, n number of versions. You will create your own collection here. Now you expand the report groups. After that, you expand the open project group. You click here.
Right. I open.
No.
What?
Last one. You expand the last group. And then you under that, you will see a subgroup here. Report group cost. You expand the cost group of the reports. Okay. So after expanding the cost group, then you select activity cost and copy it. You right click and copy. Yeah. Then you go to your own group and paste it. Right? You scroll to the top. No, more. You scroll up. You scroll to your own group. You're not there. See, you can use the scroller from the right side. Look at the right side. Look at the right side. Yeah. You just scroll up from there. Yeah. Just go to the top till you reach your own group. You select your group and paste it. Right click and paste. So you will get a copy, right? So this is a copy, right? Now the report scope should be limited only to the current project. It should not pull data from the other projects in the system. Now we will run the report, okay? You right click here and you run the report. You select report and then I'll tell you the best way to run the report is using HTML5 format, okay? Now this HTML file should not be created in any random folder, but it should be preserved. The generated report should be preserved in your reports folder, right? So guys, do you see this, that under the Primavera, there is a report folder, right? So basically the same saying goes here, a place for everything, everything's place. So you generate the report. If you want to send the report again, you don't have to generate it. You can just send it from here. You know that all my reports are here. Now click on the save. Okay, you should be very much organized around the Primavera, right? Okay, if you create a good environmental factor of organization and discipline, you'll see the Primavera works perfectly well. You click here, okay, and then so it is asking you where do you want. You select Google Chrome, and then you select this option. Always use this app. So why we are generating the reports in HTML? Because everybody has a browser. You can send it to anybody and the person will have at least one browser, right? Click on the OK. So once you click on the OK, this will be sent to the browser and it is displayed here. As you can see that it is displaying the current data, right? I'm sure this look genuine. No, don't scroll it. I want you to see the comparison. So is it right? This is a genuine data, right?
So
Now,
are we having this because we use the templates, right?
now the thing is that we want to create a better version. Actually, if you look at this report, this is lacking many columns. It is lacking the percentage of completion. It is lacking the baseline and actual duration. It is lacking the baseline dates and actual dates. It is lacking the breakup of the cost, right? So what we will do, we will create an advanced version by copying this, right? Okay, we'll do it. Now, let us come to the Primavera once again. So now we will make a copy and modify to create another one. So you do this thing. So basically keeping the cursor here in the touch mode, you press Control C and Control V. Don't do anything, just do exactly what I told you. Control C and Control V.
I have.
No, Control C
See,
will create a copy. You press Control C and then you press yes. Okay? Yeah. So now this is the copy, right? Now what you do, you basically distinguish the copy by changing the name. You say, yes, this copy will be a detailed one. Now we are going to modify this to make it detailed, right? So to make it detailed, we select it. Then I'll show you that, there is a button here. Look at this very carefully. This button is having a magic wand. Do you see that? The wizards have this, when they do their job. The fairies have this. When they give you the gifts, they just, shake it around you and a lot of gifts, they drop on the ground, right? No, this is the magic wand. So you click that button. So take a good look what they're trying to say. So it says that you are a report wizard. Report wizard, right? Modify wizard of report. Okay. Now you click on the next. You click next. After that, you click on the columns. So now we are going to add the columns. So since we are going to add a lot of columns, so let us make this comfortable to use. So we will expand this box in height and width, and then we will. So I think this font size is okay, right? So we'll not change the font size. Now we will insert a new column after the activity name. So we go to the percentage complete. We expand this. You expand this group, percentage completes. Now you select the duration percentage complete column and you take it to the right side. That's correct. Now, after you have done that, you close the percentage complete group.
no performance.
Yeah, close that group. Now we want to insert more columns after the activity status, right? So you select activity status. Now we will continue to insert more columns after this one. So now the column that we want to insert is durations. So you expand the duration group. And then you select BL1 duration. Yeah, select BL1 duration, take it to the right side. Then we will basically get its pair. The pair would be actual duration. So we are keeping the baseline and actual side by side. Okay. Now you close the duration group. We are done with this. So you close it. Okay. So now we will insert the dates. So you expand the dates group. So now you select from here BL1 start. It's here. So look at the pointer. BL1 start. No, look at the pointer. No, you take it to the right side. You
BL won't start here.
Yeah, BL1 start. Yeah, that's right. You take it.
I want to do both. I
No,
want to do
don't experiment.
BL1 start, right?
Don't.
No experimenting, I can do it. We're picking both, right?
Okay, do it.
Yeah.
Do you see that what has happened? So basically, it has basically encompassed this one. So this one needs to be separated. But I'll tell you what, we have doubled our time because I wanted a pairing. BL1 start, actual start like that. Okay, so trust me. Okay. Now you select from here actual start and you take it to the right side so that it creates a pair, right? So we don't need two columns at a time. Okay, now you select the BL1 finish because we want the next column to be inserted next to it, right? So you select actual finish and you take it to the right side. Okay, now you will close the dates group because we are done. No, close the dates group. No, ma'am, no. Listen to me. Be carefully. I'm asking you to
Sorry.
use the dates group, not the box. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Let me get back to the point. Now, you expand the cost group. Expand the cost group. Okay. So now you will do it gently. Okay. You select BL1 labor cost. So that we are selecting is the planned labor cost. And then we will select actual labor cost. A for actual will be at the top. You select actual labor costs from the top and you take it to the right side. Yeah, take it to the right side. Okay. Now you select BL1 non-labor cost. Yeah. And you take it to the right side. Then you will select its pair, right? Scroll to the top. No, no, no. If you listen to me, it will be faster. Now you select, no, don't shake it. Let me mark it, okay? You select actual non-labor cost and take it to the right side. Okay, now we select from below BL1 material cost. And take it to the right side. Then we select actual material cost. A for actual will be on the top. You take it to the right side. Okay, now you select BL1 expense cost. BL1 expense cost. Look at my marker and take it to the right side. Then we select the pair actual expense cost and then you take it to the right side. Okay, now we have selected all the columns, just one column which needs to be sequenced. You select the remaining total cost. After selecting the remaining total cost, you select that and you push it down. Okay, yeah, you bring that down to the bottom. Now, very carefully, you will click on the OK. So once you click on the OK, all these columns will be stored in the system. Then we move to the next. Click next. And next, click next. And click next. And click on the save report. First, we save the report. Okay. Saving the report is very, very important because we have done a lot of hard work. Right. Now you click on the finish. Okay. So we can always run the report from here. So you select the detailed. So we will run this report, the detailed report. Click on the run report and then you click on the OK. So you will see a detailed report here in the browser. Now, if you use your any other monitor which is a little bit wider, you will be able to see the entire data without any scrolling. And if you hold it here, I can give some comparison. Right? If you scroll to the right side and you hold the screen for me. Okay. So yeah, so I can make my markings. Okay, fine. Just wait. So I'll explain things to you. See, you can see that in this case, there was a variance in the labor cost. But in this case, there is no variance because the same amount of the work was done. But to facilitate that, we had to spend an extra amount of money here, right? So is this thing clear? Right? So what was the extra amount of the money?
Get that.
So the extra amount of money was 4,500. Right? Is that clear? So this was basically the baseline total cost. So baseline and actual total cost. We are missing a column here, actual total cost. Just a moment. So let us insert that column. Okay, fine. So the column that we did not insert was the actual total cost. So we need that one also. So just give me a moment so that we are able to do proper comparison. Okay, but let me do it. That will be faster. So basically what we have is the baseline to total cost. So we go to the cost group and we select the actual total cost. So A for actual total cost. I think we have selected, oh, that has gone to the middle, right? So we should have noticed it, right? It is selected, but in the wrong place. So we just pair it with the baseline. So that is the pair. No. Here.
So may I ask a question? How come we don't have estimate at completion on these
No,
reports?
not on this. Here we are just doing a status, right? So we can have. Just wait. So if you want to have, you can have. That's not a problem. You just be around with me. And now we will run the report once again. We'll run it, and then we'll be able to see the comparison that how the activity looked like when it closed. Okay. So now we scroll toward the right side, and now we will be able to see the comparison of the baseline versus the actual. So basically, this baseline total cost is for the entire group is 11,760, and actual total cost is this. At this point of time, there is a variance of 60/60, right? And this is the remaining amount of the money. This remaining amount of the money is pertaining to the remaining activities, right? There are 3 activities which are yet to be done. So all the activities which are completed, so they are marked as 0. Remaining total cost can never be minus, but if you spend more money, so that will be showing up in the variance as a negative. And remaining total cost, it represents real money. So real money is 0 once it is spent up, right? So if you spend more, so that will go into the variance column, right? Okay, fine. Now, what is the next step? The next step is that we are going to complete certain more activities, then we will generate the report once again. So we will see that what is the status after updating the activities. So this time, these activities, they are not having any variance because we have already have caught up with the plan and we are being cautious right now. So we are going to update these 4 activities at once because, guys, remember, when you finish with variance, you have to update the activities individually. When you are finished many activities without any variance, you can update them at once. You can update them as a bunch, right? So that's what we are going to do. So you can see the last date of the milestone is 29 January 2026, 6 p.m. So what we will do, we will update it. Now, let me tell you something important fact. So guys, when you are not displaying the Gantt chart, you will see that your update progress button is disabled. Faith, did you notice that?
Yes.
This button is disabled because the Oracle says that if you're not looking at your Gantt chart, there is a good possibility that you might update it wrongly. So they prevent you from updating it. So you just switch on the Gantt chart and you will see that this button is activated. Click on the Gantt chart button.
Okay.
Click that one. See, once you click on the Gantt chart, you will see that this button is now activated. See, if you switch off the Gantt chart, so this button will be deactivated. If you switch on the Gantt chart, this button will be activated. Why? Because I've seen a lot of people, they reinstall the Primavera. They're thinking that it's some sort of a problem, software corruption. So they, while installing, they clicked here and there, then they got it. So then they thought, yes, the reinstallation did the job, but actually it is not so, right? Is that clear? Now, what we are going to do, that keeping that fact in mind, we are going to update these 4 activities. Now, these activities they have finished on time, and they have finished, basically each of them have finished on time, and we will mark the finish of their entire bunch by marking the finish date from the milestone. The milestone was slated to finish on the 29th January, 6 p.m. So you can see the highlight, and then you click on the apply, and you click on the OK, and then you click on the cancel. Right? So these 4 were updated without any problem. So, okay, so do you see the data line has now gone to the milestone? Now there is one more activity which has been done partially, right? So you select 1070 number. Select this. Go to the status tab here for this. So in the status tab, you select the started checkbox. Okay, only the started. Then go to the duration and mark the duration consumed as 50%. So you are telling the Primavera that you have consumed 50%. And after completing 50%, you will see that the actual is 50. So if you click on the actual, this column is going to update, right? Do you see that? Actual?
Mhm.
No, budget
So I
is
should click on the actual.
actual. Why it is not updating, but it says the remaining is 20. I don't know, there is some bug or whatever, but we will see when we generate the report. So this time, before generating the report, so basically you are showing it to some person. That person says, look, I would like the time component to be switched off, right? So that my report is very easy to comprehend. So we will switch off the time by going to the time units, and we will remove the sub unit of time. We will go to the dates, and then they will tell that that do not show time. And you click on the OK. So we don't want the time imprint in the date column, right? Now you come to the reports here. After you come to the reports, you right click here and you generate the report once again. And you click on the run and you click on the report. And then you click on the OK once again. So it will generate the report. And you click yes so that you override the previous copy. So you can see the updated copy here. Can you do just a moment? So let me see if I can do it from here. Yeah, now it is maximized on the screen, right? So we can see the comparison here. So let me do some markings. Okay. So you can see that this was the planned total cost of the group, and this group completed at 17,820, and the variance was contained at 6,060. And this activity, you will see that the activity which was 50% completed, so it has no actual finish date because it has an actual start date because it was started but not finished, right? Now, what was the baseline labor cost 2,400? But I don't know, I'm seeing a real bug here. So it says actual labor cost is 0. Now that is wrong. Okay, now let me look at the baseline to total cost. Baseline to total cost, it is showing correctly. It is 2,400. And the remaining, it is not showing the actual total cost. I don't know why. So why it is having a bug. Actual total cost should be 1,200. But if you look at the remaining total cost, right, it is doing the correct remaining total cost that it is saying that it is 1,200. So I guess that it has not updated the labor data. So let me see that what is the updation in the labor units. So let me do this thing. Let me go into the activities and then let me look at the resources, the consumption of the resources. It has not updated, right? So let me do this thing. Let me write here that the actual regular units has been 20 man hours.
20 an hour.
Now, after making this a correction, let me take a chance by generating the report once again. Right? I will run the report with the updated data. Let me see if it makes a correction in the fresh report, right? So I will override the previous one and I will see that if it does. So it says
Yeah.
that, okay, that baseline labor cost is 50%. Actual labor cost is 1,200. Do you see that it has corrected the data, right?
Yeah.
So it has made the correction. Now I will go to the right side. Can you scroll and take me to the right side? Scroll to the right. No, toward the right.
So because No, I can't scroll because you maximize the font.
Let me get back the buttons. The scroller
Yeah.
has. So let's scroll to the right side. So after scrolling toward the right side, then we can see here the comparison of the baseline. Okay. So it is like this. What's happening here? Why is it showing me this? I don't want to see this. What is this? Yeah. So now, so if you look here, baseline total cost is 2,400. Actual total cost is 1,200. And remaining total cost is 1,200, right? So this is a very detailed X-ray of the project health. And based upon this, so you can take your decisions to update the project, right? Okay. So now, basically, there is one more part which is basically export to the Excel and creation of the graphs. So would you like to show me that?
Okay. Are we not doing are we gonna do S-curve?
Yeah, S-curve will I'll show you if you are around. So I'll show you the S-curve. Right? Just give me a minute. I'll be back. Okay. I'll show you the S-curve.
How soon are you coming so that I can check on my DB?
Hello, Anshif. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
Are you guys catching up? I
Sorry?
was totally lost. I said, did you catch up with all the things you taught towards this end?
Yeah, some of them I missed that, but okay, overall, again, I need to check the video.
Oh, okay. Because I was unable to catch up. At a point, I was so confused.
Yeah, me too, but that's why I need to recheck the video again.
I agree with you.
Mm.
Okay. Thanks, Anki.
Hello.
Hello, Arinze.
Oh, okay, guys, I'm back. So first, I will show you the S-curve. Okay. So I believe that will be useful for you. S-curve is generated inside the Primavera only. You don't actually have to export any data. So let us go to the Primavera. So we will go to the activities. So this is the S-curve button here on the top. Let me point out the button for you. You click this button, this will generate the S